Good morning, guys. How are we doing? Welcome to our Monday Micro Moment session. I'm Susie Redding. We are coming together to build the self-care habit, not only to take care of our own health and well-being, but so we can be a calm, safe place for those we love. So welcome. We have a juicy topic to dive into today, one that resonates broadly. It is all about what to do when sleep goes out the window. If you're having a tough time sleeping at the moment, you're not alone. There are things that we can do that will help us cope, and that's what I want to focus on today. What lies within our control? Let's start with acknowledging that we cannot make ourselves sleep. So any goal around sleep needs to be framed around what lies within our control. If you can't make yourself sleep, what can we focus on then? We can actually cultivate the ability to rest. And I think this is probably the most important thing. If you take just one thing from our session this morning, it's understanding that it's not just good sleep that is restorative and healing. Rest, relaxation, and even our breathing can be deeply restorative. And those are the things that lie within our control. Yeah, we can cultivate the ability to rest, the skill of relaxation, and we can work with the breath in a way that soothes our nervous system and restores and replenishes us. Okay, so we are focusing on the things that lie within our control. There are three parts to what I want to cover today because I think we need a fairly broad action plan. We need something that's going to help us cope in the moment when sleep is elusive. We also need a plan to help us compensate in the aftermath of poor sleep. Those two things are not enough though. We also need to be engaging in healthy habits that promote the chances of good sleep, okay? Because there are so many different things that promote better sleep. We've just got to carve the time and space and give them the priority that they deserve, okay? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to build a little action plan for each of these different phases in the moment, in the aftermath, and in general. Okay, how does that sound, guys? Is that useful? We're going to get practical. Okay, so let's dive in. What do we do in the moment when we can't sleep? Let's clarify, good sleep doesn't necessarily mean unbroken sleep, okay? It's not necessarily a bad thing if you wake up, all right? This revered 8-hour stretch of unbroken sleep is not necessarily a natural thing. Before the advent of artificial light, we actually used to sleep in two segments. And there was a very normal period of wakefulness that used to be used historically for prayer, for meditation, for reflection, for a little lovin'. It's very normal. But with the advent of artificial light, we've tried to consolidate sleep into this 8-hour stretch. And quite often we're not actually getting enough time in bed to get the sleep that we need. And this period of wakefulness is a source of stress and anxiety for a lot of people. So it's a matter of what can we do to make peace with that period of wakefulness? How can we make it more restorative? And that's what we're going to be looking at today. And there are plenty of cultures that honour segmented sleep and still having a siesta, which if there's time and space for a nap, my goodness, I'm a huge advocate for that. Research shows that even a 6-minute nap can boost concentration and can help you feel more alert, even 6 minutes. Yeah. Okay. So what do we do? How can we cope in the moment? Number one, please take the pressure off. You don't actually have to be asleep. If you can just be lying there, flopping and dropping, softening into the moment, relaxing into a calm, natural, spacious breath, your body is getting rest. Okay. And the mantra is, just rest, sleep will come, and rest is just as good, okay? Take the pressure off. You don't actually have to be asleep to be getting the benefits, okay? And as we've already acknowledged, you cannot make yourself sleep, but you can cultivate the ability to rest and relax, okay? What we need to do is to occupy the mind with something relaxing. So instead of lying there saying to yourself, oh my goodness, I'm still awake. I've been awake for X amount of time, or counting the number of hours of sleep that you had, or the hours of sleep that you won't get, mulling over all of the things that are required of you tomorrow. All of these things stress us out. They make sleep even more elusive. The inability to relax is the number one enemy to sleep. Yeah? So, what can we do? We can anchor the mind on the breath, on the body, on some kind of mantra or affirmation. We can do some kind of visualization, or we can use some kind of guided resource. It anchors the mind on something soothing, helping you make peace with wakefulness. Now, if you go through my IGTV feed, you will find loads of different breathing practices. In my books, Self-Care for Tough Times, you will find lots of different mantras. You'll find also in Stand Tall Like a Mountain. Now, this one is for parents and for practices that you can teach your children. There's a beautiful squeeze and release exercise in there that will help you cultivate physical relaxation. If your kids just want to work on some stuff on their own, this book will help make you happy. There are some different relaxation techniques that your children will be able to engage in on their own. Loads of different options there. So breath, softening the body, mantra, visualizations, use a guided resource. Now here's the key. If you've been tossing and turning and you're starting to feel agitated, it's better to get up. Okay? Don't get up and scroll on your phone. Don't get up and think about work or answer emails. Get up and do something super boring or super restorative. Okay? That's the rule of thumb. Don't toss and turn for more than 20 minutes. Yeah? If you're still awake after 20 minutes, it's better to get up, go somewhere else and do something soothing. What that could be, love a space mask, lie on the sofa, pop a space mask on. It could be some restorative yoga. It could be legs up the wall. It could be, for parents, seek out the Nourish app, do a yoga nidra. Yoga nidra is a guided relaxation. So instead of lying there thinking, oh my God, I'm still awake, you're directed to different parts of your body, helping you to relax and giving you something soothing to focus your mind on. Okay? So how do you cope in the moment? We make peace with wakefulness. We know that rest is just as good. We occupy the mind, whether it's the body, the breath, mantra, visualization. Yeah? Keep softening into it. If you're starting to get agitated about being awake, get up and go and do something really boring or really soothing. Okay? Especially if you've been tossing and turning for more than 20 minutes. Okay? So that's our little toolkit. Now, obviously, we can get far more bespoke. And if you want to do that, we can do that together in partnership one-to-one. Actually have a look at the strategies and work on breathing exercises together. But there's lots of information out there. You can go and build your own toolkits as well. That's what we do in the moment. Now, what do we do in the aftermath of when sleep has gone out the window? We need to compensate. Yeah, I think we all know that sleep is a cornerstone of our ability to think straight, access willpower, access our sense of humor. But, you know, you can make all the right healthy choices and still not get good sleep. So what do? Well, in the aftermath of poor sleep, we need to prioritize soothing practices. Thank you, Unbothered Wellness, for buying a badge. I'm really grateful. I'm hoping this is resonating for you. So what's our toolkit look like? Well, it's quite similar to what we would do in the middle of the night. If we've been tossing and turning for 20 minutes and sleep is still elusive, it's similar to those things. So what can we do the day after we've had a rubbish night's sleep? Well, highly, highly recommend legs up the wall. Even 5 minutes of that can be really replenishing. I would take a child's pose. Now, anything where you are earthing the brow, because there's an acupressure point in your forehead, it's very calming. It's like hitting the reboot button for your nervous system. Granted, maybe we can't just get down on the floor and do a child's pose. Maybe we've got a full-on day at work and we've got to pitch up and be present. Well, take the back of your hand to your forehead and press, and you will feel it soothes you in an instant. Try it with me now. Can you feel how it relaxes your eyes? It softens your jaw. It slows your rate of breathing down, and it just gives us a moment to replenish. Yeah? These little micro moments of care. Now you'll find more of these in Self-Care Revolution, these little micro moments of nourishment. Like I've already said, a 6-minute nap. If you can take a little longer. The science of napping is fascinating. The time of day has an impact on the kind of sleep cycles that will be present in your nap. There's a sweet spot. If you nap in the middle of the day, that's when you get the full benefit of REM sleep, deep sleep, between 1 and 3 p.m. How long you nap for has an impact as well. If you sleep for more than sort of 20 to 30 minutes during the day, sometimes we can wake up feeling a little bit groggy. Now, if that's the case for you, then I'd suggest opt for a shorter nap, 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then we don't get that sense of, it's called sleep inertia, where you wake up sort of feeling like you've been hit over the head. Or if you can, hell's bells, take a longer nap, 90 minutes, where you get the full sleep cycle, all of the sleep cycles. Not everyone has time for a nap in the middle of the day, and I get that. Some other practical tools would be car parking. What can you car park today? Are there some non-negotiables that you can say, do you know what? That can wait for tomorrow. I'm going to give myself permission to just focus on the essentials. Let the other stuff wait. If you're sleep deprived, it's not the time for making big decisions if you can avoid it. What else can we do? Simple breathing practices. Look at my video from last week. I showed you some really beautiful mantras that you can, mudras, hand positions. Seek that one out from last week and the previous week as well, where we were looking at how to rest when you can't relax. So these are some different movements coupled with breathing that will be really, really powerful to helping you compensate. Okay, so that's our toolkit for compensating. Now, the last toolkit that we need to look at are the sleep boosting healthy habits that we need to weave into our day to give ourselves the chance of access to good sleep. Let's just run through some fundamentals. Now, this list is not exhaustive, but I just want to highlight these things. A regularity in your daily rhythm will help you sleep at night. So we're talking about getting up at the same kind of time, going to bed at a consistent time will boost the healthy functioning of your body clock where possible. Now, if you're sleep deprived and you can have a sleep in, I would say just get sleep wherever you can. But regularity is really helpful. Secondly, exercise really promotes our ability to relax. Exercise, gentle exertion, can be a gateway to relaxation. So we need exercise in our day. If you can, go for a 20-minute walk in the morning so you're getting a dose of daylight. This helps regulate your circadian rhythms, helping you feel alert when it's time to be alert and helping you feel drowsy later on when it's time to go to bed. Okay, so 2 birds with 1 stone, getting that daily movement and getting that daily dose of daylight to boost your body clock, the healthy functioning of your body clock. Okay, what else? It's not just about having a healthy movement habit. We need to have a relaxation habit because, as I've already mentioned, your ability to sleep is directly related to your ability to relax. If you find it hard to relax during the day, there's no surprise that you find it hard to relax when your head hits the pillow. Now, we live in a culture that is caffeinated and frenetic, and we're told that, you know, to be a worthwhile, valuable human being, we should be productive and busy and, oh my God, can we just not? Can we give ourselves permission to rest? Yeah, we recharge our mobile phones, we put petrol in the car. Can we treat our own battery with the same love and respect? Okay. So form a daily relaxation habit. That's where something like this is really helpful. Love a space mask, or, you know, whether it's a 5-minute shavasana, a pigeon pose, maybe it's a couple of mountain breaths, maybe it's sitting on the back step and watching the moving cloudscape, maybe it's hugging your kids or sitting and stroking the cat. Yeah, rest doesn't always have to be in stillness doing nothing on your own. Yeah, it's as interesting as you want to make it. It can be a nap, but it can also be a really gentle walk around the block. Yeah, it can be listening to a favorite piece of music. It can be reflective writing. Okay, form a daily rest habit. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is that you can find the space for, make it a priority. And I promise you that will pay dividends when you hop into bed at night. And when you wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning, full of juicy creativity. Okay, we've got a question here. Does the pattern of our daily activities affect our sleep too? Yes. Having meals, active and passive moments at the same time each day. Yes. As much as we can, form a sense of regularity. Form a sense of a rhythm and pulse to your day. Now, there's an interesting question there about meals. Yes. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. I'm not going to get into the nutrition side of sleep boosting today, but that's something that we can do together one-to-one. But yes, so form a rhythm and pulse to your day where you, if you can, exercise at a similar time of day, eat regular meals at similar times of day. Yeah, in terms of exercise, if you're going to do some really vigorous blood pumping exercise, it's better to do that earlier in the day rather than later in the day. And if you do something that's quite heating, there needs to be an opportunity for your body temperature to cool. So here's an interesting fact. To initiate sleep, your body temperature needs to drop by 1 degree. So take a look at what you're doing with your central heating schedule. If you're pumping out heat just as you're going to bed, that could actually make it harder to get to sleep. Okay? So just bear that in mind. Now that's why having a bath an hour before going to bed can be a really powerful way to boost sleepiness, because obviously, you know, your core temperature increases when you're in the bath, but when you get out, your core temperature drops. So that's why timed an hour before going to bed, that will promote your chances of getting to sleep with ease. Now, some other really simple suggestions. Caffeine, please be mindful of caffeine. It has such a long, it has a quarter life of 12 hours. Okay, so after you've had that last dose of coffee, there's still a quarter of it circulating in your brain 12 hours later. And the thing with caffeine is that it blocks the adenosine receptors in your brain, which masks feelings of sleepiness. So it doesn't mean that you're not tired. It just means that you don't register that fatigue, and it allows you to push on. So rule of thumb there is aim for just 1 coffee a day. Savor the heck out of that 1 coffee, and don't have it after midday. Caffeine before midday, just 1, if you want to get good quality sleep. Okay. Magnesium oil. Let's talk briefly about the kind of things that we can do before going to bed. Big fan of magnesium oil. The one that I use is Better You magnesium oil spray. I put it on my feet because otherwise it makes my arms, my limbs, my tummy, it tingles a bit. I find that uncomfortable. Put it on the feet though, the skin is not as sensitive. And if your little ones are struggling, if they've got growing pains or if sleep is elusive, there's a children's formulation too. It's in a lotion, and it's cooling. It's a lovely scent. We call this is my Neom pillow spray. We call that Happy Dream Spray. So if ever sleep is elusive for your little ones, these are just little primers, because scent really does have an impact. It helps you, it gives you something to focus on. So your head hits the pillow and you can just drink in the scent. So it's encouraging you to breathe better. And when you breathe better, you feel better. There are so many different things that we could do in that pre-bedtime ritual. Think about, you're trying to prepare your mind and you're trying to prepare your body for sleep. And again, we can do that together in partnership one-to-one if you want to take a closer look at that. But there's stacks to go on there, girl. I hope that sounds good to you. Should we make a to-do list for the next day to clear the mind? I think that's a fantastic tip. I wouldn't necessarily do that directly before going to sleep, because sometimes that can sort of, if there's something that you're excited about working on, sometimes that kind of pings that train of thought into action. Definitely do that of an evening, so that you know that you can just car park stuff. You can say, it's not time for that now. This is time for me to rest. Sleep will come when it does. Just rest, sleep will come, yeah? But you know that it's committed to paper, so you're not then having to hold that in your head. I have a piece of paper and pen by my bed, so that if there are things that I need to remember, rather than trying to hold that in my head, because that is the thing that I will be remembering at midnight, 2 a.m, at 6 a.m, it will keep me awake. Commit it to paper and say, right, I know I'm not going to forget it. It's there. Okay, so quick recap. What to do when sleep goes out the window. We need a 3-step action plan. We need stuff that will help us cope in the moment. And we've talked about taking the pressure off. Just rest. Just rest. Cultivate your ability to relax. Get up and do something boring if you're feeling agitated, because the last thing we want to do is pair the sense of agitation with being in bed. Yeah, just get up and go and do something soothing somewhere else. Then we talked about how to compensate. There needs to be some kind of toolkit there, whether it's legs up the wall, having a nap, massage, mantra, breathing practices, guided resources. Use the Nourish app. And then we talked about those sleep boosting lifestyle choices, that daylight walk, regularity of wake time, bedtime, no caffeine after midday. Watch your heating schedule. Make sure that you're not blasting it up like a furnace when you're trying to get to sleep. We talked about primers like scent, magnesium oil, and all of those lovely pre-bedtime rituals. I hope there was something fresh and useful in there for you. As I said, my books, Self-Care for Tough Times, Stand Tall Like a Mountain, this book will help make you happy, and the Self-Care Revolution all have chapters on sleep promoting habits. And I also have an online masterclass that will go into all of these things in greater detail. So if you would like access to that, drop me a DM and I can send you a link to that online masterclass to boost sleep. And please know that I'm here to work on this stuff together in partnership, because sometimes we need a bespoke action plan. Yeah, sometimes we need to take a look at, okay, this is the scaffolding of my day. What can I do? What's accessible to me? What's resonant to me? And we can work on that together. Okay, so I hope this was useful. I will save this video as an IGTV to my feed. I would love for you to share it with anyone who may find it helpful. I know how torturous it can be when sleep is elusive. I can honestly remember when I became a mum, I can remember saying to myself, how long is it going to take until sleep deprivation kills me? I mean, it is just, it's so tough. So if you're having a tough time sleeping right now, my heart goes out to you. Remember, focus on what lies within your control. We cannot make ourselves sleep, but we can cultivate the ability to rest and relax, and please give yourself permission to develop that daily rest habit, and that will really bear beautiful fruit when it comes to the quality of our sleep. Okay, take good care of you guys. Thanks so much. See you soon. Bye.